I kind of like you. You're a nice guy. You're only 37. But every time I meet any of your followers, such as the two you have with you this morning, they all seem rather glazed and brainwashed. Is Hare Krishna a method of brainwashing people into abject serfdom and slavery?
Actually, I'd like to correct your understanding. We don't brainwash people. In fact, from the very birth, the media and the educational system, the society, the relatives, brainwash the living entity to forget his relationship with God.
True.
So what we are doing actually is just helping undo that brainwashing by presenting the real truth to the individual.
All right, if I become a Hare Krishna, I must accept Krishna consciousness. I must understand it. I must give up all material things. I must take a vow of poverty, and I must stand around in the streets chanting Hare, Hare, Hare.
You don't have to stand on the streets.
But you do it all the time.
Not all of us.
You block the traffic in the streets.
We
You
don't
behave abominably on the streets.
No, we don't block the traffic. When was the last time you saw traffic jammed?
All right, now how do you get me into the Moody's? And tell me how you brainwashed me so that I will accept this poverty and this humble existence in a material society.
We don't want to brainwash you. We would just wish that the brainwashing that you've experienced from your birth is freed. That's all.
No.
We don't want to brainwash you. We want to present the truth. We don't run commercials of the commercials like you do, trying to brainwash people to buy a product. We are just humbly begging people to understand the real reality.
How much pocket money do they get?
Who?
Your people who live in your communes.
They don't get a penny as pocket money. In fact, they have taken a vow of poverty. They've decided to dedicate their whole lives for the propagation of God consciousness, which is the need of the society. You should be using your television to encourage the propagation of God consciousness, because this is the biggest problem in society today.
But somebody's got to work. Somebody's got to build the hospitals. Somebody's got to make the inventions.
Fine, go ahead and...
Somebody's got to supply the services. You take all the advantages, but you do nothing practically to help society.
In fact, we take all the advantages and we are rendering the biggest gift to society, giving them God consciousness, giving them the process by which they can realize peace, the process by which they can become happy. The problem in society, take for example Vancouver or any society, everything good is on the decline. Everything evil is on the increase. Why? Due to a lack of God consciousness. God or Krishna has to be brought in the center of our lives.
You're not suggesting to me, Gopal, that the state of evil in the society is any worse today than it was 100 years ago.
It is. Take for example the government statistics.
The which?
Statistics. The crime rate has gone up now compared to 100 years ago?
Depends who does the statistics. I could do them again and it would go down by 100 years ago. But tell me this, how many times do heartbroken parents, serious question, heartbroken,
parents,
broken heart, heartbroken parents come to you and say, for God's sake, free my youngster from your clutches?
You'll be surprised, not too often, and even when they do come and they see how happy the children are, they begin to reconsider what they have been thinking.
Okay.
That is the point to note.
I'll bet you don't get many tough kids in Krishna. I bet you get the kind of university dropouts who are a little confused.
Well, I think you'll be surprised.
And have been through drugs.
Are you telling me the university graduates are not confused?
Oh, they're confused, but some, the more confused ones, join Krishna.
I think the more education you acquire, the more confused you get. In fact, there was an article in the papers yesterday which said that all these professionals are becoming unemployed, really don't know what to do with themselves.
Okay,
so here you have people who have education and experience, and they're confused. They don't know what to do when they become unemployed.
Gopal, you're almost too good to be true. How many times have people been deprogrammed to get rid of this chanting hypnotism with which you infect their poor little brains?
Well, not too many have been deprogrammed, because the reality is, even when they do get deprogrammed, they always end up coming back to the Hare Krishnas, the children, or the...
What age must they be before you will accept them in one of your communes?
Whatever the minimum age of the law of that country is. We do not let anybody come unless he fulfills the minimum legal requirement of that country.
Does he have to bring money?
No, he doesn't.
Would you let parents come and take their kids away?
In fact, you'll be amazed how many parents visit their children on a regular basis. In fact, we encourage our children, our members, to write to their parents
Okay. I watched a special the other night about all your strange cults from India and all the rest of it, and there were all
you
these...
should know what is the meaning of a cult?
A cult is a place where people don't have a free will.
How do you say we don't have a free will?
Because
if somebody doesn't want to stay in a temple, he is free to walk out.
You will forgive this sardonic remark, but I don't see anyone having a free will who walks around in a saffron robe, lives in poverty, not allowed to eat meat, women regarded as inferior, and lives at the kind of low end of the totem pole.
He doesn't live at the low. In fact, he is living at the high end. Therefore, the devotees of Hare Krishna are always happy. Whereas you have to take shelter of meat, drugs, illicit sex, gambling to be happy.
Are you accusing me? Please, Gopal, I will accept an apology.
You will?
Yes, I will.
We're talking in general. Okay.
Goodness gracious me. A man of your kuth embarrassing a 64-year-old.
No, we're talking in general.
Gopal, really? Go ahead, please. You're making me blush. For the first time in 50 years. Go ahead. Hare Krishna.